Here's the deal, then. What was meant to be a charming birthday celebration for Little Lit became a full-fledged public relations campaign. Catastrophe for Harry and Meghan, and in the middle of it all, Disneyland, yes, the land of dreams, managed to show how disorganized the Sussex playbook has become. Let's set the situation. California, Sunday, June 4th. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's parade into Disneyland on Lily's birthday with Archie and Lily in tow seems innocent enough, but it wasn't even close to a family outing. As soon as those grainy paparazzi-style photos appeared, people realized this wasn't real. Rather, it was staged because, for a couple who profess to be in dire need of privacy, they certainly know how to choose the most visible, paparazzi-infested spot in America. Although Disney is a walking camera trap and not exactly a low-key venue, Harry and Meghan entered it directly, not through the back or with a private tour, so that all the cameras could see them. They were discovered within hours. The pictures were plastered on the front pages of major publications. They described it as a lovely family outing, but scroll down to see the pictures. No one called out the hypocrisy louder than Piers Morgan. He didn't even name them in his post, but let's be honest, everyone knew that he called out celebrities who post their children for parenting clout only to blur their faces like redacted documents. Archie and Lilibet's faces were blurred, which caused confusion and made people realize that they weren't buying it anymore. "We see you," he wrote, and the internet erupted. Multimillionaire who's raked in a fortune by regularly abusing his family and regurgitating private stories in books and TV shows while simultaneously lecturing the rest of us about not invading privacy. That one comment cracked the whole staged illusion wide open. Suddenly this wasn't just a family outing, it was a media grenade, and it exploded everywhere. People started asking the obvious questions: why Disneyland, why now, and if you're so obsessed with shielding your kids, why parade them through one of the busiest tourist traps in the country? But it wasn't just the public that raised eyebrows. Insiders from within Disneyland itself confirmed that the couple's entourage was unusually visible, like suspiciously visible. Certain parts of the park were packed with photographers who somehow just happened to be in the right spot at the right time. Coincidence? Not likely. It was like watching a Netflix trailer unfold in real time. The same curated shots, the same strategic angles, the same candid moments that just feel a little too perfect. And that's when people really started to dig in. This wasn't just cringe, it was manipulative, because let's be honest, Harry and Meghan don't do anything without an agenda anymore. Their appearances are rare, but when they happen they're cinematic, always timed, always branded. This one, it smelled like damage control. Meghan's lifestyle brand was failing and her podcast numbers were plummeting, so what better way to attract attention than a Disney day with the kids? This time, however, it backfired. Instead of making people happy, it made them angry. Even their fans were perplexed by the contradictions, which were too obvious to ignore. Prince William has stated that he has had enough of the commotion, not only because it embarrasses the monarchy but also because it keeps dragging their family through the mud. Before we get to that, there is still a whole other storm brewing, and there is still the legal mess, media chaos, and the increasing pressure on the Sussex family from all sides. Morgan wasn't the only person who saw through the act. As soon as those Disneyland pictures appeared on Instagram, people on Reddit lit up, saying, "If you want privacy, maybe don't stage a photo shoot at Disneyland." One post read, receiving thousands of likes in a matter of minutes, and another commenter called it PR for Kardashian core with a royal touch. It was difficult for even some ardent Sussex supporters to defend. It wasn't just the setting or the hazy faces, it was the moment. According to royal insiders, the Disneyland excursion coincided with Trooping the Colour, a significant royal event honoring King Charles. However, to the palace, it felt like sabotage, according to sources close to the king. The whole stunt was perceived as a blatant distraction intended to steal the spotlight, and worse, using Lilibet's royal name as bait. Using that name for a staged photo op at a theme park while simultaneously disparaging the monarchy in lawsuits and interviews that touched a nerve, especially with King Charles. Royal quarters claim that the king wasn't just disapproving but was outraged. One aide reportedly expressed his feelings as being deeply embarrassed by the optic, given that Meghan and Harry didn't even request permission to use the name. When the name was initially revealed, Buckingham Palace publicly refuted that narrative, but now they were fabricating their own version of events once more by exploiting the Queen's nickname as a branding tool. On top of that, there are the legal issues. According to UK media insiders, Meghan and Harry are reportedly threatening to sue Piers Morgan for his crude remarks. When he refused to support her Oprah interview claims, Meghan attempted to silence him for the first time, which resulted in his abrupt departure from Good Morning Britain. However, Morgan has never been one to back down and sees their tactics for what they are: emotional blackmail disguised as victimization.